Okay, good day. Good day. I am Raven Ace Villanueva, a BA Political Science student from University of the Philippines, Manila. And I will be discussing the problem of heavy traffic and poor transportation systems here in Metro Manila. And as a daily commuter every day, going to the school and other places is very hassle to me. And most of the time, I get late on my way going to school, even though I depart early, walk early. That's why I feel the same sentiments of my fellow commuters on their way to their respective destinations. So, in this presentation, I will discuss one by one the main problems of the traffic here, the causes, implications, facts, and other stuffs that will help us give suggestions on solving the daily traffic. So, we start on the facts. So, according to the Waze last year, which is a GPS-based navigation app in the smartphones, so the Philippines has the worst traffic in the world. Take note, in the world. So, following to the Philippines, to the city of Rio de Janeiro, Jakarta, and Sao Paulo in Brazil. So, the Waze Global Driver Satisfaction Index, on the basis of why we are the worst, were based on 6 key factors. So, number one is traffic level by frequency and severity of traffic jams. Number two, road quality and infrastructure. Number three, driver safety based on accidents, road hazards, and weather. Number four, driver services like access to gas stations and easy parking. Number five, socioeconomic conditions, which is standardized by the World Bank, including access to cars and impacts of gas prices. So, number six is the Waziness, which is a jargon for Waze. It's the level of helpfulness and happiness within the Waze community. So, the Waze also estimated that the average travel time here in Metro Manila is 45.5 minutes. And the next to us is Jakarta, which is 41.5 minutes. So, just imagine how horrible is 45.5 minutes of travel time. It's very, very, very disturbing. So, also another fact, we are the 13th country with worst quality of roads. No doubt. And every day, 3 billion pesos lose to our economy. Just in, which I estimated it's around 0.8% of the GDP. And forecast of an uninhabitable Metro Manila in 5 years. So, it's 2016 now, and for the next 5 years, so around 2021, the Metro Manila will be overcrowded and uninhabitable. Oh, it's very unimaginable. So, another fact, there's an increase in car sales of 23% annually, or 300,000 cars. So, how rich the Filipinos are. And imagine those 300,000 cars added to our roads in Metro Manila. And as the cars increase, but there is no increase of infrastructures, it's very horrible. And gridlocks, or the bottlenecks, the slow moving traffic jams, lasting for 3 to 4 hours. So now I am discussing the main problem of traffic here in Metro Manila, or the causes of traffic here in Metro Manila. So, number one, the lack of effective and efficient mass transportation system here. So here in Metro Manila, we have 3 primary mass transportation system, mass rapid transportation system, which is the LRT1 flying around Taft Avenue from Baclaran up to Roosevelt, and LRT2, which passes along Recto Avenue and the Aurora Boulevard intersection, starting from Recto Avenue up to Santolan in Pasig. So MRT3, the primary railway system alongside EDSA, which starts from Taft Avenue southbound up to North Avenue northbound. And also, although it is not a mass, it's a mass transportation, but it's not rapid transportation system, is the PNR, or the Philippine National Railway System, which is one of the oldest railway system established in Asia. So this PNR stretches along from on a long time ago, when it's operational, from Bicol southbound up to extending up to Pangasinan northbound. So just imagine that railway system. So there's an estimated of around 300,000 to 500,000 daily commuters on this railway system. So just imagine that. Just imagine that numbers. So there is also a lack of interconnected links among these railway systems, and people still need to walk or commute to get to another railway system. So there are also crowded train. So the people flock on the public utility vehicles, and they covered most of the roads waiting for a ride, causing traffic. So number two problem cause traffic here in Metro Manila is the underdevelopment of secondary and tertiary roads. So government only focus on the development of primary road. That's why most of the cars congest in those areas. So unknowingly, cars can take shortcuts, but most of the time they do not seek so, since the secondary and tertiary roads are also crowded due to the overcrowded areas. Like there are vendors, illegal parking areas, even putting homes of the illegal settlers outside roads, which blocks the road which is dedicated to the cars. So number three, lack of infrastructure projects. So most of the time, the infrastructure projects here in Metro Manila are delayed. Like, for example, the deadline is February 17, and it will be finished on February 17 next year. And worse, the projects are unfinished due to politics or change of administration. And there are also lack of interconnected major roads like the SLEX, the NLEX, that there should be a continuous way to them, so that, as stated, expressway, there should be a free flowing of the traffic. But in reality, here in the Philippines, even in expressways, there's a traffic, and I experience that every day. And mostly the government dedicated projects on short-term plans rather than long-term plans. Next cause is the poor quality of the roads. So there's always a road reblocking, as I observe every summer, although the roads are fine. Like there's a straight asphalt, and they will work on it, destroy it, fix it, destroy it, fix it, because it builds corruption among the contractor. And excuse me, and most of the time they use substandard materials, which causes some accidents that cause the delay of movement of the vehicles along the roads, which causes traffic. So next cause is the congestions in the business districts. So every center of every city in Metro Manila are heavily overpopulated, and vehicles have difficulty on going in and out of the central districts, like for example in Makati, Manila, Pasig, Quezon City, etc. Shops, restaurants, etc. are too concentrated in the center. Next cause of the traffic here in Metro Manila is the rude and irresponsible private drivers. So they are prone on violating traffic laws as if they are the superior in the road. And most of the violations they commit are like cutting in the lanes, counterflowing, overtaking, not following the no left turn, no right turn, no U-turn, etc. And not only private drivers cause traffic, but most of the time, the primary law offenders are the public drivers. So, most of the time, the commuters and especially also the private drivers complain on the unloading and loading the public vehicles, and they are staying too much in the lane, like they stay there for 5 to 10 minutes and worse 30 minutes, like in buses in EDSA. So that causes the delaying of the flow of traffic. And also, most of the time, um, as I observe, the public vehicles here in Metro Manila are mostly the jeeps and tricycles are slow moving, they are old, they are outdated, and their engines are not environmental more. So in Metro Manila, there's a designated lane for the public vehicles, especially on major avenues and boulevards, but most of the time, these public drivers still not following those lanes designated to them. Next cause is the lack of traffic enforcers and traffic signs. So, traffic enforcers, they are too dispersed and they are mostly concentrated on the primary roads and they forget the secondary and tertiary roads. So, this leads to the freedom of traffic violators. So, they also lack of the high-tech materials to continue monitor roads, like patrol cars, GPS systems, motorcycles, CCTVs as well, etc. And in relation to this, there are also lack of traffic signs here in Metro Manila. Although there are traffic signs, but still, I don't know the reason why the Filipinos are still not following rules. And mostly, traffic lights are malfunctioning, like the red blinking, although in the other part of the traffic light is green, so it causes accident, causes traffic. So there are also unclear traffic signs, there are unpainted lanes, roads to guide motorists. So next cause, sidewalks are covered by the illegal vendors. So as the vendors occupy the lane which is designated for the pedestrians, the tendency of the pedestrians now is to walk on the roadside, covering a certain lane of the cars, which causes traffic. And it is common, especially in Manila area, in the Taft Avenue, where the roads are very narrow, congested, and vendors are flying around the stretch of Taft Avenue, and it's very worse there. So number 9, lack of parking spaces. Car owners with no garages have the tendency to park their cars alongside roads in front of their houses. which congests roads and no space for the pedestrians. So these are usually found on the tertiary roads. So number 10, prohibiting updated vehicles. So slow smoke belching vehicles are still flying around the major roads, especially cars that have date of I think around 80s, 90s, and they cause slow movement of traffic and worse environmental effects such as air pollution. So most updated vehicles here in Metro Manila are the public vehicles, especially the jeeps, bicycles, buses. Next is the centralization of important offices in Metro Manila. So here in Metro Manila, we only have one airport, which is concentrated in Parañaque, which is the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. And people congest on that area, and cars also congest the area. That's why if you go to the NAIA, in any direction, it is traffic. So as well as seaports, here in Metro Manila, we have the primary seaport, which is the North and South Harbor in nearby in Tondo area. And school systems also in Metro Manila is very concentrated, especially in the university belt in the Recto area, like FEU, UE, San Sebastian, USD, and other schools nearby there. And alongside that road, in Recto Avenue, and it's very traffic there, especially during rush hours. And government offices also are too concentrated here in Metro Manila. Like for example, if you will get an NBI clearance or an SSS, if for example you are from, let's say you're from Bicol, there are no satellite offices of getting an SSS and NBI in Bicol. So you have no choice but go to Metro Manila. So job opportunities as well are too much concentrated in Metro Manila. And according to a research, there's excuse me, there is an increase of the day population of around 200,000 to 500,000 people every day. So just imagine that numbers. So more people, more cars needed, which leads to traffic. So number 12, lack of urban planning and road mapping. So shopping malls are concentrated along the major roads. Like for example, when I go to EDSA in Shaw Boulevard in the Ortigas area, there are 5 malls there. So the SM Mega Mall, St. Francis Square Mall there, the Shangri-La, and Robinson, and Star Mall. 5 malls concentrated in that area. So many people, especially during the vacation and Christmas season, and the traffic is very horrible in that area in the Shaw Boulevard, and buses, jeeps, UV Express are fluctuating in that area. And it's too late now to decongest traffic at all costs, but we know we can still lessen it. So now that we have now presented the causes of traffic here in Metro Manila, it's the time now to propose solutions. But these solutions that I will present is my own perspective as a commuter, and I know I'm not an expert on urban planning, infrastructure. I'm not an engineer, but I know this my proposals can help the government perhaps to decongest traffic here in Metro Manila. So, solution number one, I think there should be an increased railway systems in Metro Manila, like putting railway system in major thoroughfares. For example, in C5, in SX, in the Ross Boulevard, where highway cars are too crowded. And I think the government should also procure on producing more coaches for the train to occupy more people. As for example, if I am a daily commuter of LRT1, and most of the time there are only 2 coaches of train, and the first coach is allotted to the women, to the disabled people, senior citizens, and the worst is the second coach always, which is a mixture of all peoples. You're just like a warrior to go to train. So I'm also proposing a 3 to 5 minutes train interval to avoid overcrowding in the boarding stations. So there should be also an extension of operation hours, and I am proposing 12 a.m. as much as possible, so that the graveyard shift people like the call center agents can still afford excuse me, to go to the railway systems. And there should be also an extending of the railway systems to the nearby provinces like Rizal, Laguna, Bulacan, etc. And now there are several government plans now of the extension of the railway systems in Metro Manila. Like for example, the MRT extension to Bulacan, the LRT extension to Antipolo, and still which is still on planning the LRT1 extension to Cavite, as well as the LRT1 to MRT3 connection, which still have issues due to the contractors. Yes, because of money, politics. I think there is also a need for an integration of a more efficient ticketing system to avoid pile-ups in the ticket booths, because I experience it every day. Like for example, there are 7 window booths to get ticket, but there are only 2 booth tellers, so the lines are very long. So I think there's also a possibility of a subway system here, although we are a flood prone area in Metro Manila, but in other countries there are also a flood prone, like in Japan, which is typhoon prone, flood prone, but they developed a very efficient subway system. And I think there were excuse me, and I think the government could have bilateral talks to have a joint ventures to have a subway system here in Metro Manila. A subway system is a very efficient way of a railway system because it conserves space from above. So number 2 proposal for me is the intensive infrastructure projects. So there should be more accessible roads, the opening of tertiary roads, like the subdivision roads, although they are private. But I hope the local governments of course can have negotiations on the connection among them. So again, I am not an engineer, but I am proposing to government to at least have a 2-level flyover on the stretch of EDSA, because the cars are very like the whole stretch of EDSA is a parking area and the cars are not moving. And in the case study here, when you ride an MRT3 from Taft Avenue to North Avenue, it will take you 41 minutes. But if you take it on a public utility vehicle like bus or private car, it will take you 3 hours. So it's very horrible. So there's a need to have a flyover at least. And also there should be also like a flyover in C5 because the traffic there as well is very horrible. And to achieve that, there should be 24/7 working hours with, of course, there should be shiftings like 2 to 3 shifts to finish early on time of the projects. So there should be an early procurement of the materials to avoid substandard materials. There should be also a strict implementation on the start and due date of every project, and failure to do so will be held liable of criminal charges. Contractors. Next solution is the phasing out of outdated vehicles. Old slow-moving vehicles have no way to our roads as they cause more trouble, especially pollution of air, as most of the engines back then are diesel intensive, and that's why they are slow. So my proposal is phasing out cars which are 10 to 15 years of age, and but it still can be refurbished to qualify on physical and environmental standards to be fair to them. But I think phasing out is very needed, especially in the public vehicles, because not it only cause um, environmental problems, but as well as the flow of traffic. So next proposal is the bus rapid transit. So these are common to major cities around the world, and this is a concept of there's only a one lane dedicated to the bus. Like it's just like a railway system with a straight path, but no car can pass through except the bus only. Sorry. So next is the increasing traffic enforcer visibility. So to attract opportunities of having more traffic enforcers, there should be an increased salary and benefits of the traffic enforcers. Also to avoid corruptions like the Kotong system, and the government should give them the materials they need like patrol cars, GPS systems to monitor traffic easily and can act quickly. So there should be also outposts alongside major roads to further monitor the traffic. There should be also an increase in the traffic signs, fixed traffic lights, put them more on intersection lanes, and on the side of traffic sign, there should be bigger picture, more detailed, more appealing traffic signs. Next solution is the strict standard to qualify for being a licensed driver, as most of the time the cause of traffic here in Metro Manila is driver itself, the the personality of the driver. So there should be deep psychological tests, and there should be basic exams on traffic signs and rules to filter rude and undisciplined drivers. So poor exam, no license. So on the part of the students, I think in the education system of the Philippines, I think there should be a basic education on the traffic, of being a commuter or a driver or pedestrian here in our country. Excuse me. Next, strict parking rules. So I am proposing only a limitation of 2 cars for one family, because I think there's no so much need for a collection of cars just for pride. And I'm also proposing no no car, no garage, no car. But the government can allot on building parking lots like a building story, like on other countries, and can great profit as well to this business. Next is the road clearing of the primary, tertiary, secondary roads. So there should be demolition of illegal settlers alongside roads, but with proper relocation and secured sites. And the government should also ban illegal vendors on sidewalks. Instead, they should put them on one area like in the public market. So towing out cars alongside roads is also a need. So my last proposal is the decentralization of Metro Manila. So we should put other airports, seaports outside Manila, and I think there's also a need of having centralized terminals in every direction Metro Manila. Like there's North Terminal for the North, South Terminal, East Terminal, West Terminal, etc. So putting also satellite offices, government offices outside Manila, so the people residing outside Manila cannot I mean there's no need to go here in Metro Manila to avoid overcrowding. So job opportunities, the factories, the business should not be only concentrated in Metro Manila. So to wrap up, these are only my views and suggestions on solving the problem of traffic here in Metro Manila as a daily commuter. But I know it can help a lot on our government's effort to solve this. Commuters' perspective is the very important case to be considered by the government, as they are the primary sufferers of the horrible traffic jam here in Metro Manila. With the help of us, ordinary citizens, the government can do its project and its plan to decongest traffic. And it is our responsibility to be vigilant to the actions of the government. And as for the drivers and motorists, pedestrians, commuters, we should discipline ourselves to avoid hasty delays. I hope one day these traffic woes will be resolved. And to our current administration, I hope they can give and do all of they can. We deserve better. So thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope the government can hear our sides. And yes, we deserve better. So thank you again.